It's crazy how so few people know about this very inexpensive and very simple RC upgrade. Now here we have the Team Corally Kagama 4. This thing is probably the most controversial RC car that I've featured on my channel so far this year. And yeah, I know we've only been in 2025 for a month. I'm sure there's going to be more controversial RC cars, but this one is at #1 at the moment. So why is this truck so controversial? Now, when I done the full review video of the Team Corally Kagama 4, so many people said it was really slow out the box. Now, unlike other channels, I made a point about testing it on 2S, 3S and 4S, and I actually thought the performance was really good. Considering this truck weighs 4 kilograms, 37 miles per hour out the box on the stock gearing, in my opinion, for a 4S basher, was perfectly acceptable. But no, so many people hit the comments saying it's too slow. I've also done a video comparing this to the MT10, a very well-known 3S basher, which is still one of the best 1/10 scale trucks you can buy. In that comparison video, I did show everyone the top speeds of both of the trucks right out the box. Now the MT10 is designed to be a 3S truck, so it did achieve 37 miles per hour using a 3S pack. And of course the Kagama 4 hit 37 miles per hour using a 4S pack because it is a 4S truck. Now of course, doing YouTube, I get hateful comments every day. That's part of what I do. You do get used to it after a while, but what I really don't like seeing is a perfectly good truck being brought down by people who really don't understand the basics of RC. I think loads of people get carried away without the box speeds now, and a lot of people don't realise you can squeeze a little bit of extra speed and power out of an RC truck, especially out of a proper hobby grade truck like the Kagama 4. I don't think many people actually do their research or know what they actually own these days, because especially with a lot of these hobby grade trucks, there are ways to get a little bit more power for a very cheap price. So those who left the original comments may be wondering, what is he talking about? Now I'm talking about something that's been around for years, and yes, all of those experienced enthusiasts out there will know exactly what I'm talking about, and that is of course gearing. Now this truck is geared pretty low out the box. It only has a 13-tooth pinion, but again, I think the speed that this achieves, considering what it's intended for, you know, to be a 4S off-road ready basher, the 13-tooth pinion on a 4S pack, 37 miles per hour, is more than enough for most people. But all you see in the comments is, it's too slow, it's too slow, it's very slow. Now believe it or not, it's very cheap to get a little bit more speed out of a truck like this using nothing more than a slightly bigger pinion gear, which isn't going to cost any more than around £5, $6 or $7, and that's all it takes to get this truck into the 40s. Or at least I hope so, because this video is going to be very embarrassing. Now look, I'm not looking to insult anyone or bring anyone down, but what I would say is it would really help if you do a little bit of research. And I would say gearing when it comes to RC cars is actually one of the RC basics, especially when you get into proper hobby grade RC cars. I think cheap ready to run RC cars have kind of led to people not doing their research anymore and just kind of being happy with the performance out the box. Whereas many years ago, before we see all of these cheap Chinese RC cars, we only really see the big branded cars, and I would say 99% of them could be upgraded when it comes to gearing. Now I've decided to fit the 15-tooth pinion to this truck. I also got a 17-tooth, but I decided against that because I think things are going to get a little bit too hot. I'm also looking to do a mixture of on-road and off-road with this truck, which is why I think the 15-tooth will be the sweet spot. Fitting it was very straightforward because the motor mount already has the holes pre-drilled for a 13-tooth, 15-tooth and a 17-tooth pinion, so you don't have to worry about your gear mesh. Although what I would say is the pinion gear that I used doesn't quite mesh perfectly. It does feel a little bit loose, and of course there's no adjustability because that motor mount doesn't allow it. So I'm hoping we don't actually strip the spur gear today, but we'll see how it goes later. If you're looking to do this, I would probably recommend getting the official Team Corally 15-tooth pinion gear, which of course is available on their website and more than likely at some of your local hobby stores. Right, so let's see how fast it will go on 3S with its upgraded gearing. Let's start the GPS. Yeah, it definitely sounds and feels like that mesh is a little bit loose, which I kind of knew anyway. But again, there's no adjustability on that motor mount, so you're kind of stuck really. Full throttle. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order the official Team Corally pinion gear, I think, which is odd really, because all Mod 1 gearing should fit on this, but obviously not. As long as we don't strip the spur. Yeah, that mesh is a little bit loose. So that's full throttle again. I think we're going to see a little increase in speed. It'd be crazy if we don't. Of course we will, because there's 2 extra teeth on that pinion gear. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's see what we got. I'm going easy on the brakes as well, because I don't want to strip that pinion, that spur, sorry. So let's hit stop and read. So we've got 32 miles per hour on 3S. So 32 miles per hour is a 4 mile per hour increase over the old 13 tooth pinion, which did give us a result of 28 miles per hour. And I'm hoping on 4S we definitely get into the 40s, because that's what so many people were complaining about. So moving up to 4S, let's start the GPS. I wonder what we're gonna get. We got 37 last time. Yeah, 15 tooth pinion, I think is perfect on this. I think a 17 tooth pinion on this would be slightly too much, especially if you're looking to do some off-road stuff. And Team Corally actually say it's not recommended on the manual, on the stock motor. I think heat will be an issue if you do decide to run a 17 tooth. I mean, 15 feels pretty quick. I'm hoping we see 42, 43, maybe even 44 miles per hour out of this now. Certainly feels quicker. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's see what we got on 4S. 15 tooth pinion. A very cheap and simple upgrade. And it's actually quite surprising how few people know about this. It's really not a secret. You know, gearing has always been a thing when it comes to RC cars, especially the big hobby grade cars like this. Let's hit read. So we've got 42 miles per hour this time. So increasing that pinion size has increased the speed by 5 miles per hour, which has now taken it into the 40s. And I think that is the perfect amount of speed for a 4S basher that weighs 4 kilograms. But so many people will still say, yeah, but the armor range is faster. Now, yes, that may be the case. There might be RC cars which will be quicker than the Kagama 4, but I really want people to understand and try to see that there is more to this truck than its top speed. I mean, I did go over a lot of the features in the review video, but so many people choose to go against this truck. But for the money, what you're actually getting is much better build quality than the armor trucks. Those things are primarily made out of plastic, which by the way is absolutely fine if you're looking for a basher that you can throw around, especially at skate parks. But if you're not into the whole skate park bashing thing and you're just looking for a well-built tank, this is the truck I would actually buy. And yes, I did say in the comparison video that if I was looking to go down a skate park, I think I would probably pick the MT10. Of course, because it's lighter and a little bit more nimble. But anything out of a skate park, I think the Kagama is definitely a solid option. And no, Team Corally haven't paid me to say that. It starts to get really draining and tiring because I'm always repeating myself week after week. Some people don't understand that our job as RC reviewers is to find the good and the bad in a product. And believe it or not, but we are allowed to say really good stuff about a car. It doesn't mean they've paid us. It just makes me laugh. I actually find it really amusing now. A lot of the comments that I see on these videos just demonstrate a real lack of knowledge. So what we've established today is a very simple and cheap upgrade, which costs nothing more than around £5, £6, maybe even £7 if you go for the official Team Corally pinion gear. Can actually get you a little bit more speed. So all the haters out there who said this thing was slow, I think today I've proved you wrong. Oh yeah, but it's still slow because the Armour Vortex does 50 miles per hour out the box. Good for the Armour Vortex. Who cares? So what's next for the Kagama 4? Well, I'm actually going to make a couple more upgrades because I really like this truck. I'm going to try a different set of wheels and tyres on it because they're very firm, and I do feel that now we've got that 15-tooth pinion in there, with some different wheels and tyres, I think we will be able to get better air control out of this truck. I'm also going to be upgrading the steering servo because I think we can get a little bit more performance when it comes to handling. I have seen that there's also another big list of upgrades you can buy for this truck, and I think throughout the year I'm slowly going to keep upgrading it. I did notice yesterday Team Corally have dropped footage of their new Punisher 4. I think that is pretty much exactly the same as the Kagama, just with a different body. I do have to say that thing looks incredibly cool, and it just gives you another option on this platform, which by the way I still think is one of the best 1/10 scale platforms out there at the moment when you compare it to the competition. I do think it's definitely right up there when it comes to build quality, but of course I know loads of people will disagree. So let me know in the comments section what you make of all of this. Do you think that there's a lack of knowledge in the RC world at the moment? I do think the cheap ready to runs are partly to blame for this, or it could just be down to laziness and a lack of research, but I definitely feel it's a big issue because of the amount of people that left comments saying this thing was too slow when all it really needed was a very cheap upgrade. I love hearing what you guys have to say, so definitely drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this topic, and I don't ask all the time, but it would definitely help me out if you hit that subscribe button and of course turn notifications on so that you're told every time I upload a new video. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one, take care. If you want to see the full review that I did on the Team Corally Kagama 4, click the top video now, or click the bottom video to check out the comparison that I did against the MT10.